Hello guys and welcome back to another game. We're on Arabia yet again, but we've got a little bit of a different Civ matchup, which is nice for a change. We do have Koreans versus Koreans. So in the blue straight away we have Nicov. If you don't know who he is, you really need to keep a better eye on the ladders. At the moment he's sitting at number 1, so super strong player. Hopefully you can learn something from this game overall. He's going to be playing in the blue. Over in the red we have S-Wise Lix. If you don't know Lix as well, again, a very strong player, been around a long time. In fact, both these players have been around a long time. Nicov, though, I think wins out as far as the Voobly goes, because I've seen his name just for absolute years now. Both players, very good overall. Koreans, really heavy Civ to play with, though, and can be in a really interesting Civ to watch on Arabia, because you can see some very non-standard builds, which is always fun and gives us something extra to look forward to. So let's have a look at the maps nice and quickly, see if we can nut out any kind of ideas on things they want to go for, maybe run through a couple of reasons on why they're good and bad maps, and we'll go from there, see how it plays out. So straight away, looking at Lix's map, what we can see is he only has the one wood pile, and from this, it means he's not going to be able to split his lumber. Splitting lumber is something I talk about just about every video now, but splitting your lumber, basically getting a second lumber camp up, so you can actually keep your income as long as you're getting harassed. So, basically, scouts would run in here. If he had an extra lumber camp up over here, for say, he'd at least have some kind of income so he can keep his farms going, he can keep spears coming out, things like that. Just be able to deal with the scenario a lot better. But because he's limited to this one wood down over here, any scouts or units get in here and really do some damage could be a potential issue. Looks like Nicov, sorry, I'm in doubt mode still. Looks like Nikov's moving forward as well. Could potentially be looking for a boar steal by the looks of things, because this is a very early scout at the moment. So, what's he got? Boar's up over here. Let's keep an eye on that guy just in case he decides to run out across the map with it. So, Lix is having his gold in the back as well. It is a very open map, just looking it out. So, the gold at the moment being in the back, still not the best thing in the world, but still, could be a lot worse. Could be really having issues with saturation from trees, but it's okay, as long as it doesn't get harassed too bad. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a town center get dropped down here later. If harassment comes in, of course, we're going to see a tower on top of it. So basically, you're just going to have to wait it out and see exactly what it does decide to do. Gold over here on the left, and a stone at the front and to the side as well. So overall, not too bad a map, but severely open, and there's the barracks getting dropped as well. Looks like we could be seeing some drush action. Does have a little bit of a hill here in the front as well. Not a horrible hill, but still at the same time, not something you really want in your base. Moving over to Nicov, let's have a look. Looks like he is going to get harassed here. Does he have a loom yet? Doesn't have loom, so this could potentially be a huge issue with the scout. Wouldn't be surprised if he actually gets the villager pick here. Should get close enough to the TC, and there we go, bailing out of there. And really good micro as well from Lix. Not going to get any arrows in the scout there as well. Barracks going down defensively of Nicov as well. It is a little bit of a later barracks, so I like to call it a defensive barracks, just because it means he's not going to be pushing out across the map with it so much, as he's going to be creating units back here, have them out in time to defend against Lix's push. That said, I haven't exactly seen what Lix is up to. Is he creating militia? No, so it could just be a fake out as well, because it could potentially force Nicov into getting some militia out, and from there, could be a couple of issues. Nicov going down with Loom, Lix going up with Feudal as well. 22 pot for Lix, 23 for Nicov, so that's where we're basically seeing the difference in timing at the moment. So really we're going to see about a 25-30 second timing difference between the feudal ages. As far as it goes, looking at Nikov's map, if we don't have it out over here, what was... just attacking the barracks, cool. Nicov as well, not going to have a really way to split his lumber. Could potentially split to the frontier, but being at the top of the hill, really far away from the town center, not exactly what you do want to be seeing. And there goes the Lix. Looks like we are seeing some militia out in the field. There we go. Going out with a couple, actually. Interesting. Could be going for the late drush. So, lumber in the back, quite far away from the TC as well, so this is going to be a supreme target here for Lix to really be able to come in and hit. If he can get in here, he can really grind the wood eco to the halt, and basically, if you get that one to a halt in Feudal Age, no farms, anything like that can come out. You can't make your archery range transition, so it's actually a really strong play if you can get rid of any of their eco, particularly their wood source. We do see that we have Nicov already moving in for gold, so it could be an archery transition straight off the bat instead of going into any kind of scout play, and the farm's getting dropped as well. Berries in the back, but again, hugely open map at the front here, towards the sides as well, but he has managed to spawn himself in a bit of a crater, so it will be a little bit of an issue later into the game, as he's defending and trying to push up these hills, if Lix can really put on the pressure. We do have the militia moving out though. Looks like they are trying to stay away from the wolf, probably a good idea. And are these villagers moving forward, or are they going up here to try and mill the deer? We do have an extra militia on its way up as well. Are we going to see man-at-arms get dropped straight away? There we go, so it looks like Lix will be getting highly aggressive here if he can, and moving up with these guys, he could be potentially actually going for a fort as well. Scout has been taken down, and there we go, that scout going to get out of there just in time. Feudal Age has been researched for Nicov, And men-at-arms on the way for both players now as well. How much defensive militia does he have? So only 3 defensive militia. They're going to be enough to push these guys off, especially even when they're men-at-arms. We do have the archery range going down already, so that gold obviously going to be the key of that one there. But if these guys do manage to get into the wood line, going to be a potential issue there. Nicov, though, moving in with his own militia to be able to counter it, so he shouldn't be forced to fight this one with villagers. Of course, so there we go. Scout is down, and going to push that man-at-arms advantage while he can. Man-at-arms just finishing up, yep, right now for Nicov as well. So going to see a little bit of, some really good micro there by Nicov as well, moving the unit around so the units would chase him. And we do have the pop advantage right now for Licks, but overall looking very, very similar. There's the forward villagers, though. Not sure exactly what he's doing with them yet, but if he can get nice and aggressive here, going to be a lot of issues for Nicov to hold this one back. Archer's going to be on the way, though, so he's going to have some kind of force out to really be able to defend with this one. And the watchtower going down. Of course, Koreans getting extra abilities in their watchtowers, which is awesome. Free upgrades, basically, so never going to say no to free stuff, right? We do have quite a few villages on stone as well, so it looks like we could be potentially seeing a tower rush. A defensive tower going up for Nicov. Looks like he should be able to catch this one up as well. As far as HP goes, looks like he's going to be alright. Going to be potentially a little bit of trouble here with this tower, though, because he should be able to push those villagers off the tower. But at the same time, hopefully the defense of Nicov going to be able to push this away, because tower rushing, never too much fun. Oh, this is bad. That's going to be a villager dead straight away. Potentially a second one here as well. Lick's in a lot of trouble now, actually. That's 2 villagers down, and we might not even see this tower come up. Going to just come up. Defensive tower, going to be in a stronger position, of course, and that man-at-arms slowly going to start taking down that tower. Does have the building advantage as well, so attacking buildings going to get some extra damage in there, and not sure exactly how this one's going to play out, because Nikov's defended this really, really well. He hasn't lost too much of his wood eco. Going to be able to take out the tower, and look at this right now. Tower's already coming down. Villagers hopefully going to be able to get up behind here, though. If they can get a tower up here and force him off the wood, like I was saying earlier, Nikov's going to be in a world of pain, really, to be able to deal with that one. And it looks like the villagers have spotted this. Going to come around. Not sure exactly what the game plan is. And it looks like they're going to go for fight by the looks of things. These men-at-arms get down here. And there is a wolf as well. Going to be super bad. And potentially going to get in here. Come on, fight the villagers. If you can do some damage here, you might be able to start catching up. Because he did lose the 2 villagers on the tower as well. Watchtower over here. Going to get taken out slowly but surely. And come on, wall yourself in. You know they're coming. Yeah, here we go. Stone walls. Come on, get the fast wall. Fast wall. I think we're safe. And that's the fast wall now as well. Not really much they're going to be able to do. That one archer, though, could have been a huge issue. The men-at-arms managing to catch up with it in time, though. Hopefully this archer here gets dealt with by the men-at-arms as well. And how are we looking there? Only a couple of 100 HP on this wall, so going to have to get that one built up a bit. And Archer's really good micro there from Nicov as well, taking out this weak man-at-arms before anything really can happen. And there we go. So man-at-arms actually moving across to Nikov's base as well. Looks like he is getting the defensive watchtower up. Or to Lix's base, sorry. Nicov moving out towards Lix's base. Going to get the defensive tower up, so going to be able to take care of this one relatively easy. At the same time, though, wouldn't want to be able to deal with it. And it looks like that archer and those 2 archers going to be able to take out these villagers as well. Tower 99 going to just survive there. Going to get it up, and this really actually will do some damage and disrupt the eco here. Looking down over here, though. Man-at-arms, though, getting dealt with fairly quickly. Did lose a villager under there. Population at the moment, we're looking at 34 for Nicov, 26 for Lix. So Lix quite far behind in the endgame here. And, oh, this could be bad if that villager's, yep, going to get re-garrisoned there. So it's going to be alright. But in the end, we can see that Nicov has been forced off his main wood. And that's a lot of idle villagers right now. We are actually seeing a huge amount of idols moving across the map. Going to be forced to put up a lumber camp over here and move over. And it looks like that villager there is going to survive. Come on, micro him. Micro, good micro. How's that villager not attacking? Come on, get the one hit. Just one more hit and karate chopped to death. There we go. So looking pretty average overall at the moment. We can see a little bit of a score difference favoring Lix at the moment. Could be just from units killed though, because looking at the population, Nicov on 36, Lix on 28, 29 villagers to the 34 of Nicov as well. So Nicov just in a really commanding position, even though the score doesn't reveal it at the moment. This guy over here, though, going to be good at keeping this off and at bay. And over here, it's going to make this a very harassable target now. We can see quite a few villagers moving up across the map for Nicov now as well. So both players looking like they're going to go for a forward. Archery range is down for Lix. So is the blacksmith, hopefully on its way up now. There we go. And another defensive tower coming up now. Wheelbarrow going down as well. And hopefully that blacksmith will be seeing a nice and early fletching. Double archery is down for Nicov though, so going to be in a good place to get some harassment in there, start doing some damage. Looks like that's exactly what these villagers and this archer over here are planning to do. Another archer there. Going to see a little bit of harass And, some good micro as well from both players. Some really good micro considering we're looking at a one-on-one fight here. And going to get that one. Villager's going to come in. It looks like they're going to be karate chopping more things to death right now. Seeing a very villager aggressive game. Fletching on its way now. And what are we going to see from this point? Good. That's a super aggressive tower. Not sure if he's actually going to be able to hold this one. Still some more going down over here, more over here, and the defensive tower going up from Licks, of course, as well. Nicov getting pop capped at 45 at the moment, and it's just such a pop difference at the moment. Nicov in a very commanding position, despite being behind in the scores. And what are we looking at? 76. This is actually going to be a really close tower rush here, and looks like we should see this one come up, and then this one come up straight away. Going to be able to see this get super, super aggressive. Of course, the villagers and extra units can be in the advantage of Licks at the moment, but at the same time, can be able to do some damage and at least get some idols out of him. Because at the moment, Nicov in a very commanding position. He's got that higher pop already, and pretty much everything he can use, and our villager's going to survive on 3 HP. So tight. Fletching on the way down by Nicov as well. But look at all the idle time he's gaining here. It is a lot of resource to put up a tower like this, but at the same time, at least he's getting that idle time. Extra archers moving around the side here. This wood is already towered, so can't really do too much there. And Lick's actually towering all of his resources at the moment as well. So in a really good position here to actually just be able to hold out against this and not see too much damage happen. So basically I'm going to fast forward it here for a little bit, just because we're not going to see too much happening. Another defensive or aggressive tower coming up. Defensive and aggressive tower coming up. Going to slowly move up with the tower rush by the looks of things. Potentially going to be able to sit in over here. I feel like it's going to be within range, and it is. So at the moment we're really at a stalemate. Not a lot we can really see happen, especially with the amount of towers up. Not too much harass Nicov is going to be able to do. Horse collar on its way down for Nicov as well, and it looks like we're seeing quite a few units surviving here. Speeding things up just because I want to see this one wait off. Oh, dead villager and a dead archer there. Defensive or aggressive tower, I should say. And going to be able to find a way to fight on from here. And again, getting pushed off another lumber. So both players at the moment finding it really, really hard to get these lumber camps going at the moment. Looking back at Nikov's base, putting up an outpost as well. So outpost, of course, can be really good as a deterrent, because he's going to be able to get all his villagers out of the aggressive area before really he can lose too many, hopefully. Stone on the way over here. We do see outpost. Any more defensive towers up? No more defensive towers up, so it looks like he's going to try and stay as aggressive as possible and use that aggression to really find a way to hold this one and then hopefully choke him out later in the game, because if Lix does get stuck back in his base, he is going to eventually run out of resources. There are going to be siege workshops and things going down eventually that will take out these towers. A lot of archers on the play for Nicov though, so hopefully going to be able to get in here, do a little bit of damage, jump under one of these towers, and from there hopefully take out some villagers. We can see Lix moving across the map though. Again, just looking at Nikov's base, he doesn't have too much there to really be able to defend himself. He's getting his wood up. There is the aggressive tower coming down as well, right next to the outpost, so he's going to see that one coming, but potentially can lose some villagers here on the stone. Same in the gold on the back here, so just going to have to be careful with how this one plays out. House slowly getting taken down. Another defensive tower coming down from Lix. So again, getting very stalematey, so I'm going to click that fast forward button, and we'll see exactly what we do see. And it looks like we are going to see a little bit of karate chop action here again. Moving across over here, some units going to get into the gold, but put up a defensive tower as well. Over here, what are we seeing? Nothing really too exciting. Same goes over here. So, bump-a-dump-a-da. That defensive tower looks like it should come up just in time before we see any villagers lost. So, it's going to be a good place to push this one back as well. It does have a couple of defensive archers there. And, ooh, losing one villager there. Potentially could lose a second, but going to pull out of there before he can take too much damage. Any forward buildings going down. We do have the forward tower, so going to see a little bit of aggressive play there. But neither player are really up to too much at the moment. 59 pop for Nicov, 60 population to 45, so there is a big difference there. Nicov, though, having a lot of idle villagers, so it is starting to make up in time a little bit. Nicov only about 100 points up at the moment and chasing down these archers across the map. How are we looking? So hitting that fast forward button again, just because Tower Wars can get a little bit stale, and I really want to see something start to happen. So Nicov, bump-a-dump-a-da. Looks like he's starting to save up towards Castle Age there, keeping his villager production up, but getting a lot of food in the bank as well. As for Lix, Lix has actually clicked up now as well, so going to be in a good position with those Castle Age. Potentially could see some Knights. Knights are really good at raiding against anyone with heaps of TCs or heaps of towers. Basically, you see they get that the little bit of extra pierce armor that you can get on them, the huge HP, which of course Korean going to miss out on a little bit, but still there could be a little bit worse. But Knights going to be a pretty good option here if he wants to go for it. If not, Crossbows probably what we're going to see, and still not going to be able to do too much with them though, because those towers and TCs are really going to hold everything out, unless he wants to go for a castle drop, and then potentially get some war wagons out. Going to be in a good spot for that. We can see though Nicov getting some units on it. Stone at the front as well, stone at the back. Wouldn't be surprised to see Nicov actually go for a castle drop on the front as well, try and get really aggressive. And Lix at the moment, I'm starting to think we'll probably put down a defensive castle, try and get some war wagons out and go across there as possible. Padded archer armor on the way down. We had gold research just finished up then. How are we looking over here? Just about enough resource to get that one. And again, Nicov just trying to push in, poking and prodding against Lix, trying to get some kind of play going there at the moment. And looking back here, we should just see that click up any second now, so speeding things along until we can see that click up. Dun, 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 dun. And Castle Age for Nicov on the way. Going to be finished at 30 minutes game time. Castle Age, though, for Lix going to happen a couple minutes earlier, so he's going to be able to cement himself into a good position here, especially if he gets that castle up nice and early. There's the free guard tower upgrade, and what are we going to see? Is he going to go forward, or is he going to go defensive with this castle? And yeah, there's the defensive castle coming up, so gonna get one up here, defend his eco, take out this tower, and then get some war wagons out and push from there. Siege workshop and the monastery coming up as well. Interesting, really interesting actually, considering he's getting the monastery up. Naturally, seeing this kind of combination, we could presume he was going for a fast imp, but because he's getting the castle up as well, he has no reason for all these buildings to come up if he's going to try and do that. And the resources at the moment just not close enough to really what we need to be able to see. Nicov going for a big wall at the moment, could potentially lose his villager here to these two archers. Going to get around the wall first, sit on top of him, and potentially going to see this one go down. So a free villager snag there, never going to say no to that. Like I said, never say no to free things. And castle is up. Hopefully should see a couple of war wagons get spawned out immediately. Hopefully, there we go. So one war wagon on the way. Hopefully going to see a second. And from there, Archer's going to be in a little bit of trouble because war wagon's extremely hard to deal with. High pierce armor, high health, really decent speed as well, considering what they are. So, going to be in a good place to really push out across the map with those. And just a couple of war wagons can really set your opponent into disarray. Just because, like I said, they've got that huge pierce armor, the huge amount of HP. Going to be in a good spot. Going to be in a real good spot. These two archers trying to get in, do some harass under this tower against the skirmisher. Not really going to see too much. That said, though, castle is going down for Nicov in a couple of seconds now. So hopefully going to see a castle get dropped at the front here if we're really, really lucky. What's he doing? Walling the stone in. We do have a battering ram moving up as well. Free guard tower going down. And what are we going to see? Dun, 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 dun. He does have the stone to drop a castle. Does he want to do it on front? Bodkin and crossbow going down, so it looks like he might not be committing to war wagons as heavily as we are going to see from Lix. But castle going down on the hill here, really good defensive location. Going to be able to oversee his wood, going to be able to oversee his gold. He's getting siege workshop up on the front as well. Any extra town centers? Yeah, looks like neither plane going for some extra town centers, so potentially going to see a lot of aggressive play happening at the moment. There we go, we've already got 4 war wagons out in the field. These will absolutely decimate crossbows, so got to be careful with this one, and Nicov might be committing to the wrong unit here, depending on how he does decide to play this out. If he switches into crossbows, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble, just because he's got the crossbows out already. If he stays in that kind of shape, not feeling too confident. That said, though, if he does make the transition into war wagons, we'll be able to pick it up a lot easier. We do have the second archer, or actually, there we go, leather archer armor going down for both players at the moment, so we are going to see that one. War wagons, of course, going to end up with 5 pierce armor, which is just so much considering a crossbows only do 5+2 damage, so that's a lot of hits they're going to be able to tank. And like you see, they can just hold and hold and hold that. There we go, getting the monks out. So is he going to go for heals, or is he going for converts now? What's he going for? Heals or converts? That's the question. War wagon is out for Nicov, so it looks like he's committing to this one as well. And dun, 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 dun. Moving up, moving up. What's he doing? There we go. So yeah, going for the heals as much as possible. And of course, being such bulky units, monks really, really effective, guys. Like I've been saying, knights super effective with a couple of monks to heal them, so you can just keep going in, get some raiding. Really, really good, but with war wagons, just as effective. Potentially going to go for the convert here. Yep, that's what we're going to see. If he gets that one, he's going to be in luck. We do have the mangonel out, so going to be able to at least do some kind of damage, but at the same time, this castle going to be really, really defensive. And looks like he's picking up some relics now as well. Ooh, good hit with the mangonel there. Trying to get the convert. Monk might come in range of the castle here, and if he does, it's going to be bad news for him. Narrowly did missing some rocks there. Force is one with me, I'm one with the Force with that guy. And are we going to see the convert? Managed to get the convert, going to hopefully pull that one out just in time. Yep, so managed to get a free unit there. Mangonel hopefully can take out those skirmishers. And no, not going to get them. Oh, Mangonel is down though. Skirmish is going to get taken out by the war wagons eventually. House going down at the front here for no particular reason. Don't think we're really close to seeing too much. Nicov though, looks like he is on the way to saving up to Imp. Lix looks like he's doing the same as well, but not as close. If we can see Nicov get that early Imperial Age, comparatively, Nicov going to be able to push him with the Trebuchet, force some engagement. If he can take out the castles, and especially the towers, he's going to be just in a really good place to be able to just get some raiding done. And if he can do that, it's pretty much GG from there. We're still looking at about 100 points difference, so not huge. Pop has evened out to 68-68. No secondary... Oh, there's a secondary town center from Lix. Are we seeing a secondary town center yet from Nicov? Nicov, no secondary TC by the looks of things. So, going to be in a bad place there the longer this goes. The longer this one goes out, the more Lix is going to catch up and overpopulate with villages. And as Koreans, if you can get a really good play going on with your economy, it means you can just produce and produce and produce. That said though, Nicov has clicked up to the Imperial Age now, so we were expecting that one. Looks like he did dedicate fully into the Castle Age push and then backing that with the Imperial Age upgrade. Once he gets that there, a couple of trebuchets really going to put him in a good spot to do some damage. War wagons though are moving out from Lix now, going to be able to push up here. Hopefully the Mangonel can be able to land some good hits. The hill advantage is going to be able to help him out, but here we go. Monkey's out as well, so going to be able to get the heals going. And Imperial Age on the way. Mangonel, again, can have to be really careful with this one. Should be able to get up the hill if they want to. Actually going to bail out of the fight. Starting is not going for it, or just waiting on that Mangonel. And here we go. He's going to get a decent trade here. Huge amount of damage from that Mangonel. Really needs to go for the thing. And it looks like this one at the top going to survive. Hill bonus doing just what it needed to do, taking out these units. And here we go. We are seeing the retreat from Lix as well. Pretty much exactly what we were expecting. Did manage to get the convert as well, so going to be in a really good spot here, especially if he gets the heals up on it. Nicov going to be in a really good place to push here any minute. As long as these war wagons keep getting, I guess, shredded slowly and slowly, Nikov's going to end up with a larger force, and once he's got that couple of trebuchets out, there's just nothing that Lix is going to be able to do, because he's been forced to push directly into this, and a couple of Mangonels, not what you want to be forced into pushing against, especially with war wagons. That said, ballistics on the way for Lix, so going to put him in a good spot there, but Imperial Age definitely going to be the game changer of this one. 100 points difference still, but remembering Nicov has invested a lot of points into that Imperial Age upgrade, and the second town center slowly starting to take the lead in terms of villages as well now. We are at 66 villages for Lix, 57 for Nicov, but these guys at the moment here looking very formidable. Do have a secondary castle coming up, going to cement this gold in this hill as well, so it's going to give him a really good staging point to move out from and then retreat to if he does need to, especially being on the hill. Having the gold there is just going to be a huge extra, plus it does defend his wood line over here as well. Wouldn't be surprised as well if we do see a trebuchet come out and come back to deal with this tower straight away, just because he needs at least something there to be able to get some wood income from. Bracer going down from Nicov, so really starting to go for those researchers. Going to get that extra range, going to get the extra damage. He's already got some good armor on these guys, so a little bit more never hurts. Always got to go for all the upgrades you can. Mangonel moving forward, currently 4+2 range on the war wagon, 7+1 on the Mangonel, so a really good place there. And it looks like Lick's going to have to play this one defensively from here. What are we seeing from Nicov? What do we got underway? Conscription, Trebuchet, Lumber Camp moving forward. Still haven't seen anything back here. That said though, we can see Lick's getting very close to clicking up to Imperial himself. Hopefully we will see a good push from Nicov before that happens. Otherwise he's going to lose a bit of his advantage, and really he needs to be pushing that one as much as he can now. Imperial Age on the way for Lick, so he's got a couple of minutes to really try and push this one. Roughly about 3 and a bit minutes. So let's see exactly how this does play out. Looks like we do have units moving out across the map now. What are we going to see from Nicov? Doesn't have the resources there to drop a castle or anything. Conscription, Trebuchet, another Trebuchet on the way. So you're going to at least try and get some damage there. Military units, we're looking at 25 for Nicov, 22 for Lix. Villages, we're looking at 61 for Nicov, 74 for Lix. Have we seen him go down with an extra town center yet? Or is he just 1 TC power play in this guy? Looks like he's going for that 1 TC power play, guys. Looks like he's learned something from Eddie. Villagers moving forward. Oh, potentially going to be able to get some free kills here, especially if he can deny this stone. Looks like he's going to commit to it. The Mangonel going to push in as well, and oh, we actually do have Lix pulling out of the fight. Potentially going to lose his Mangonel here to nothing. Did lose the Mangonel. 2 monks moving forward as well. Hopefully going to be able to get some converts here. Villagers not going to be in a great place. We do have a defensive keep coming down as well. The Trebuchet going to be in a good place here to actually push up as well, especially if we can get on top of that castle. This is not looking good for Lix. The convert has gone down though. Potentially going to be able to get another one. Hopefully no. It looks like the other monk's been killed. And extra monks coming in from Nicov as well. Going to see a lot of defensive conversions at the moment, which is fantastic. Castle not in a good place right now, getting attacked by the trebuchet. Can't really move in to take it out either, just because there's so many units here, and that huge amount of Pierce armor going to keep the war wagons off it quite well. How are we looking back here? Just more and more war wagons. Yeah, just padding out his army as much as possible now. Nicov starting to take a lead here as far as goes. Nearly in the lead population-wise. Starting to catch up with Elix slowly. Some battering rams in as well. Not sure if he just wanted to take out the stone or if he was going to use it to soak up damage. Honestly, would have been surprised if he's using it to soak up damage this early on, because he doesn't really have the resources for it. Second trebuchet up on this castle as well, so going to be a real hard press at the moment for Elix to keep this one up. Some defensive, or I guess really aggressive keeps going up, defending the trebuchets, but at the same time pretty much in his opponent's base, so let's just call them aggressive. 500 point advantage for Nicov at the moment. Elix on his way up though. So again, going to be really close in terms of that one. Probably about 10 seconds we are going to see that upgrade. War Wagon has his armor upgrades on these guys. The War Wagons at the moment going to be really, really good to use aggressively. And he needs to move in there with those guys. Bracer on the way for Lix. He has hit Imperial Age now. And it looks like he's pushing forward. Really needs to figure out a way to do this one. Probably needs to repair that trebuchet, if anything. And gonna lose that one. Has taken down the castle though. No secondary castle for Lix as well. So he is currently going to have a lot of issues trying to get more War Wagons out. This is pretty much the War Wagon pop we are going to see from Lix at the moment. He has to be very, very careful not to lose too many of these units. That said though, the trebuchet is taking damage. Tower's trying to do something here, but because of the such high pierce armor of the war wagons, really not going to be able to do too much. 7+4 attack on these guys, 5 armor, so there is a bit of a difference at least, but at the same time, not the best. Chemistry has been researched as well. Cap Ram on the way. Oh, those mangonels going to do some serious damage here. Really good play overall, and but pushing forward with this one, moving in, and not looking so good. Lix might be at a little bit of an issue here right now. In fact, this could just about be GG. There's still a lot of war wagons out in play. The Cap Ram's doing a good job at soaking up damage. The Mangonels are actually doing a really good job, but managing to get killed off there. Monk's getting a couple of converts here and there. Cap Ram pushing in. And there's the GG from Lix, guys. Really good game thus far. That said, though, Nicov just pushing in so well, getting really aggressive here, especially with the towers. Managing to take out that castle with the trebuchets as well. Really stunting all of Lix's movements there. Really aggressive move, trying to go up to Imperial. Really greedy move as well, but paid off for him. Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next game.